Good morning, girls. How are you? So today we are going to do a bright coloured eyeshadow look. Okay, so it's about I haven't my watch on it. It's about 9:30 in the morning. So I would say whenever my daughters get up, they'll be thinking, "What the hell have I been at with bright colours on so early?" So today I'm going to use this palette, the Carnival palette, simply because it has got so many nice bright colours, okay? So I'm going to do one eye one colour and then I'm going to do the other eye a different colour. Just to let you see, exact same process that you've been doing with the oranges and the light browns, only you're going to start off with your bright colour, okay? So you'll just have to bear with me until I get everything sorted. So I'm going to start off with pink. Now, the reason I'm going with pink is because I absolutely love pink. Once you get using bright pink, you'll start to find that you'll want to use bright pink all the time. I would start off sometimes quite bright, but then whenever I add on my browns and my blacks, I can tone it down quite a bit. So I can use this as a day look as well. It just really depends what look you're going for. So out of all these colours, I think I am going to choose this top one here, okay? Simply just because it's the brightest and I want you to see the colour going on, alright? So, we'll pop a little bit onto our brush, just like we do with the first colour that we do. Blab it off and would I just make this? So, we're going to go in. Remember, the first colour goes along the crease and up. Now, I've already done my brows. I've already put on the concealer around my eyes and I've put a bit of powder on it. So I have skipped all them steps. So don't forget to do that first before you get to the eyeshadow. So it's going to go from the corner across the crease and up. Alright? Now, because this is quite a bright colour, do give your brush a good shake and make sure you've got all the excess off, because although we want it bright, we don't want to be going in too hard with it and making it sort of go everywhere. We want to put a little bit on and then we want to build it up, as opposed to having too much bright colour on too thin. Okay, so let's see. It's weird trying to do this in the camera and the mirror, so I'm just going to move you around a little bit so that you can see and I can maybe try and do it in the mirror. Yeah. Okay, so small circular movements, just rub that round. Now, I can't stress, I have very, very little of that product on my brush. So, like I say, do very little. That Carnival palette is really, really pigmented, so it does come out really well. That's one of the benefits of having, like, your eBay colours and all, your cheap colours will be the exact same, but it just takes a little bit more work to get that bright pink out, whereas sometimes them other palettes just tend to be that wee bit more brighter first go, so you don't have as much work. Okay, and I'm going to take that pink just in underneath. Now, I will tidy up one underneath at the end. I'm just running that round just to give myself a guideline, because I'm sure if you've tried it before, whenever you bring the colour under your eyes, it makes it look so much better. So it's just to give me a guideline of where I'm going. Okay, so what I want to see is whenever my eyes is fully open, I want to be able to see that colour right. Like when I look straight ahead, I can still see that colour, okay? So that is what I want you to achieve. Some of you have sent me pictures and they are so good. You're doing really, really well. And I've replied to maybe say, don't be afraid to take that colour up a bit more. Now, if you had a smaller eye space, that would be difficult, because with the smaller, if there's not much space between the brow and the eye, you don't have as much space to work with. But if you do have space, definitely take it up, because as soon as I open my eyes, I want to be able to see that, okay? So now we are going to go, and I'm going to darken down the corners. So I'm just giving my brush a clean, because I use the same brush for everything. Alright, so I'm going to go with, I want to darken it down, But I'm going to start off with, do you see this light brown? Now, I know I'm going to use this, and I know I'm going to go and use a black as well, but I'm going to start with this light brown, because like I've always said, start off a little bit, and then see how it progresses, and then you can take it darker, as opposed to going too dark too soon. I know to look at this, I'm just going to go straight in for the dark one, because I know to look at that's never going to be dark enough. Okay, pat it off, and we are going to go, remember, second colour in the corner and across the crease. So I'm going to darken this pink down, but what I want is, whenever I open my eyes, I still want to be able to see the pink there. So do you see the way you can see that really darkened down, but the pink's still very vibrant? The pink is the main colour. The pink's the one I want you to see. This would be, for instance, if somebody, so say I was wearing this black t-shirt, but there was maybe a bright pink flower on it. So if I put the pink eyes on, that would really lift this flower out. So that's what we want to achieve, okay? So I'm going to get my spare fluffy brush. So to see the way there, you can see like a bit. I'm going to get my spare brush, and I'm just going to brush that up. Let me see. I'm just going to move that powder to try and blend it out. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take black off this L&D palette, because there's none in that one. I'm going to blacken down my corners, literally just my corner area, okay? Now, as you've noticed, I've went from pink to brown to black pretty quickly, okay? I'm going to add a little bit of white in, but, you know, do move through the steps, have a look at your eye, see what you think of it, and then you can go back and fix and add and take away whatever you want, okay? So I'm literally just doing that corner bit, and I'm going to bring that round. So can you see there? See if I can close my eyes. You can see how I've literally just done the corner and no more. And then I'll get my spare brush and just give that a wee blend through. That just softens it. We take that over the eyelid, just a tiny bit. I want that to come over at least halfway. There. So, I'm going to brighten this up, and because I know when I put eyeliner and mascara on, it's going to be dark enough. I'm going to brighten up the front part, and you have two options, okay? So I have quite a good white powder. Like, there's white comes in these palettes. They are good, but I just find that they're maybe just not that strong enough. So I'm going to pop a wee bit on and let you see. Okay, it definitely whitens it. But I just have a white that I love. Either one of these two. I've had these for years, so couldn't even recommend where to get them. But I know you can get them in the likes of Superdrug. They always do loose powder. This one's a loose powder with like glitter through it. This one's a loose powder, and it would tend to have like a purpley shimmery colour on it, which is quite nice. Now, if I had, say for instance, right, I had taken, and let me just show you, say I had taken this brown and black the whole way across, for me to put white on top of that, the white's never going to come out white, because you're going to try and put white on top of brown or black, and it's never going to work. So the easiest way to get around that is to put another little, we'll not put that concealer on. Sorry, I find this. There, I had it 2 seconds ago and then I couldn't find it. Put a little bit of concealer on the eyelid, and then that makes the eyelid white again. Okay, so if you had a black wall and a white wall and you put pink on it, obviously it's going to come out better on the white wall because it's like a neutral colour. So that's all we're doing. We're just trying to neutralise the eyelid a little bit so that whenever we put on a lighter colour, it comes out really well. So, a little bit of concealer, and I'm just going to pop it onto my hand. Like there's literally just a tiny drop there. Okay, and I'm going to get my concealer brush. And what I'm going to do is, like, I literally have just got enough concealer on that and no more, okay? Because if you put too much concealer over this eye area, it's going to ruin everything. What I'm going to do is put a little bit of concealer onto my eyelid, and then I'll show you next, okay? So I'm only wanting to put the colour at the start of the eye. Now, when you're doing this, pat it on, okay? Don't rub it on because you don't want to ruin the work you've already done. Okay, you see how white that's making that? Just keep patting it on. Now, I really had hardly any concealer on that brush. So it just shows you need very little. I'll just take it over maybe a wee tiny bit more. Now, when you do this, okay, there's one thing you must do. When the client opens their eyes, you have to get them to look up to the roof to see where the concealer transfers to, okay? So I'm just going to look up and then look down. Now, mine's didn't really transfer, okay? What I mean by transferring is, say whenever that person looks up, that concealer may travel up to like here or in between. Do you see wherever that concealer transfers up to? That's where you have to take it to. The reason being is you could do your eye so beautiful, and then whenever that client happens to look up to the roof, that's going to move. And then when that moves, that ruins the whole makeup. So once you put the concealer on, ask them or yourself to look up to the ceiling, and wherever that concealer transfers to, you'll see it'll come on like wee lines as such. So that's where you take the concealer to, because if you don't do that, it's only going to happen whenever you finish your whole makeup, and you don't want that because that'll ruin everything. So now that I have like a base to work on, this is still a little bit wet. So when I put my powder eyeshadow onto this, it is going to go on a lot better. Okay, so I'm just going to use this little one here. Pack it onto the brush. And again, like the concealer, I'm just going to pat this on. So whether it's white, whether it's like, a lot of people would use, you know, like a natural kind of shimmery colour. Whatever colour you're going to use at this stage, pat it on. We don't want to go back and forward like the pink, because the pink was spreading it. We want to put this onto a specific place, okay? So I am just going to pat that on. Now you can see how my pink eye, which turned very dark very quickly, is now starting to come to life a little bit, okay? Another thing you can do with your brush is, say for instance, the powder is quite flaky. Sometimes you put your brush into powder and the powder just kind of spurts everywhere, which is a nightmare. Get a little bit of hairspray, and my hairspray is always on my makeup table. A little bit of hairspray, spray the brush, so then whenever you dip the brush into the powder, it sticks, the powder sticks to the brush. Just be careful around your eyes and give it a second to settle, because you know how hairspray can choke you sometimes. Okay, so that's really stuck on this time. And that is just a matter of patting that on until you get to the hairspray thing, until you get to the desired colour that you want, okay? So I now have that all lightened up. Okay, that's exactly what I wanted, because I just felt as if it would be a little bit too dark, because I still have to put on eyeliner and mascara. So now I'm going to go in and tidy up any little bits that I want. I do think I'm going to bring this black over a wee bit and blend it into the white again, okay? So I'm going in with my pink again, and I'm just going to tidy this up and brighten it up a wee bit. Because with me working with the browns and the blacks, it can bring it down, okay? See the way that's just really brightened that back up? Okay, I've just took it out, really messy, but we always tidy that up with concealer at the very end, so don't be worried about that. So I'm now going in with a little bit of brown. The reason I've went back on my brown and not black is because I've already got black there. I might need the black too much. But I'm going to go in with a little bit of black at the corners. Just to darken it. Okay. Spare fluffy brush. And give that a wee wiggle. Okay, so still looks really weird. Like I say, when you're doing an extravagant look like this, it's always going to look crazy until you get foundation on, because 9 times out of 10 you're going to have tan on, you're going to really contour your face. I still have I've tan on, so I still have a bit of tan here. Of a brown neck, and I still have these really big white eyes, so of course it's going to look a little bit silly. So we are now going to move on with this eye. I'm going to put on a little bit of eyeliner and mascara today. Now girls, eyeliner is quite difficult. It's just one of them things you got to practice. I'll do one eye really, really good. I'll go do the second eye and it's like, what the hell did I just do? It's just one of them things. It's all about doing small bits at a time. And then if you want to get a thicker eyeliner line, you can go back and do a thicker eyeliner line. So the best thing to do is stretch the eye like that and close it. The reason you want to stretch it is because when my eye's like this, I might have a few wrinkles in my eyes, so there might be wee lines in there. When I stretch that, I have a long straight line to go to. The first thing you're going to do is draw the eyeliner as close to your eyelashes as possible, okay? So keep them on the eyelash line as such. That will get it at the bottom. Sometimes you put eyeliner on and you open up and you'll see a tiny, tiny gap between the eyeliner and your eyelashes, and that's so annoying. So keep it on the eyelashes as close as possible. Have a look at it. Think, do I want to go for thicker eyeliner? So you can thicken it up. You can leave it as it is. Some people like dark eyeliner, some people don't. I'm going to use today, this is an Avon one, Glimmer Stick one. Girls, this is the only eyeliner that I will use. The reason it is the only eyeliner that I will use is because I've just got used to it. I love it. It goes on easy. Liquid eyeliner is great because liquid eyeliner is very bold. The problem with liquid eyeliner is I just find it doesn't dry. Some dries quick and some doesn't. And if it doesn't dry quick enough and the person opens their eyes, then you start having these black bits all throughout your eyes, and it's the worst thing ever, okay? These here, it's like, it's not pencil, but it's not liquid, and it's not gel. It's really weird. They're like $2.50. See whenever, or £3. See whenever they're on offer in Avon, I buy loads of them because they will never go to waste. And you simply just screw it up and screw it down, depending on how much you need, okay? So, I'm going to do the top line first. Now you're putting me under pressure as well. Eyeliner will again depend on the occasion, where you're going, what you're doing, what age the person is, because I love black eyeliner, but that's just me. Some people will wear brown eyeliner. I also love blue eyeliner. I would wear blue eyeliner when I'm going to work because I've got very minimal makeup on, and I literally just put a little bit on, and it really brings out the blue colour in my eyes as well. But for going out or glam makeup, for me it has to be black, okay? So I took that now the whole way across. Like I say, a daytime look, you might only take that 3/4 of the way across. Doesn't have to go the whole way. So the bottom of the eye here, you have two options. You can go on the lash line, which is literally just where your eyelashes start, or you can go on the waterline, which is the inside bit. Now girls, please don't be afraid of this. The best way to do this is see the person's or your own face. Get your hand there. Now this is why we don't do foundation first. Get your hand there and pull that down. So I know this might look disgusting, but when I pull that down, my waterline is literally turned out. So I can get right at that waterline now. Now if you have a client on the seat, I would get them to look up to the roof. Because you see, whenever they look up to the ceiling, their eyeballs is up there. But you have pulled their eye stuff down. So I don't know if you can see this because I can't see and do it at the same time. But whenever their eyeball's up there and this is pulled down, you can put as much eyeliner on their eye and it'll not annoy them. I hate getting eyeliner and mascara done by a makeup artist. It's the worst thing. So try and make it as comfortable for them. Now if the client starts blinking and blinking and blinking, stop what you're doing straight away. Tell them that you're going to give them a couple of seconds and you're going to ask them to take a big blink. So in their head, it's all psychological. So in their head, they're going, right, I'm allowed to blink once more and then that's it. I'm not allowed to blink again. So they'll go blink and then they'll keep their eyes open. So it sounds really silly, but it really does work. If they start to blink and get irritated, just stop what you're doing. Give them a couple of seconds to get themselves sorted and then go again. Because if you just keep rubbing and rubbing and rubbing and trying to put eyeliner on whenever they're blinking, their eyes is going to start watering, so the makeup's going to start moving. It's just not worth it. So just stop what you're doing, give them a couple of seconds, tell them to take a big blink and then go again. It's like somebody saying, hold your breath. You know, you couldn't stop breathing for 20 seconds. But if somebody says to you, hold your breath, you'll hold your breath and psychologically you're going, I can't breathe, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. So it sounds really silly, but it does work. So I'm going to go, what I tend to do with this first is I tend to run along the eyelash line, have a look at it and then think, do I need to go in on the waterline? Because the waterline is going to be that little bit more dramatic. But because this is a bright coloured look, I will do the waterline, okay? But normally every day it's just along the lash line, okay? So lash line, I'm just going to stretch that and run along. Now girls, there's no pressure on this whatsoever. I'm hardly even touching. That's why I love the Glimmer Stick, because it comes off so easy. If I have loads of eyeliner pencils in there and I just won't use them because I just find a pencil, you're rubbing and rubbing and rubbing and it's hardly coming off. Like I've hardly touched my eyes there and look how dark that eyeliner has come out. So it's really, really good. So now I'm going to do my waterline, okay? So it's literally just, you see that white bit or pinky bit? Just that bit there. And again, it's very hard to get an eyeliner to go on the waterline and stay on the waterline. I know a lot of people that use white. White's beautiful on the waterline. It really makes your eyes stand out. A lot of people will put white on and then they actually get a little bit of powder and put the powder on top of the white because that dries it out. Because obviously in there can get wet. When it gets wet, it comes off. So loads of wee things to be trying. So now we're just going to pop on mascara, okay? I have the Be Perfect one. I love this mascara. It goes on so light. I hate nothing more than feeling as if my mascara is clumped on. It just makes me want to pull it out all day, so it's no good. The Be Perfect one is amazing for everyday makeup. It's so soft, it goes on. It darkens your lashes, but it's not, to me it's not heavy enough for going out. But it's great for every day because it's just giving you enough without layering it on, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to pop on. Now, when you're doing somebody's mascara, it has to be the worst thing to get done. When you're doing somebody's mascara, again, they're going to look up to the ceiling. You're going to pop the brush on and you just get them to take big blinks. So in their head, they're going blink. And the whole time their lashes is running through the mascara. You don't need to go like this here, rub, 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 because that's annoying them. So they just take a big blink and it runs through. When you go to do the bottom lashes, you get them again to look up to the ceiling so that their eyeballs is all the way out of the road. And when you do the bottom, see if you wiggle back and forward like that and down, the mascara will go on easier than trying to layer it on, okay? So always wiggle the bottom line. Now, obviously, I can't look up to the ceiling because I'm trying to do my own, but I will just pop as much as that on as possible. And you'll see, like, I'm literally taking hundreds of planks through this. I hate putting mascara on. It's awful. And you'll see me there, I'm moving my head back and forward. That's to see if I, because when I do this, I can see if there's enough mascara going on that. Again, there's loads of really good mascaras out there. You could probably get one that would come out better than this, but I just don't like the clumpiness, okay? I'd rather have less on than more on. If I was wearing an eye makeup look like this, I'm going to have lashes on anyway, so that'll make it stand out even better. Now, I have this. This is Big Volume, Phenomenal Volume, okay? Avon one. It goes on really, really well, but it really clogs, okay? So I've sort of stopped using it. I'll use it a little bit after my own mascara just to give it the volume, but I can't use this on its own because already there I can see like lots of wee bits on it, and that's just my personal preference, okay? So what we're going to do now, we have got the eye look practically done. We do highlight the brow bone, we do highlight in here, but we do our highlighter at the very, very, very end, okay? So what I'm going to do now is I am just going to get concealer, and I'm going to pop it on a little V shape down there. So I'm going to tidy up the eye area, okay? And I'm going to get my concealer brush and move in with it. So I'm always pulling down on this. The reason I'm always pulling down on this is because although I'm tidying this up, I don't want to go in too close or take too much away. I'll reassess it. Like every time I'm cleaning this, I'll look at it and say, is that enough under my eyes, or is there too much under my eyes, okay? And I'll just tick that up little bit by little bit until I'm happy. Sometimes I find I tick that up and I tidy it all up. Once I've got my foundation and all on, I'll look at it and go, you know what, I hardly get any pink coming around the bottom there. And again, so little because all the work's been done with my brush. Another thing you can do, girls, is get nurse's tape. And when you get nurse's tape, you can put the tape there. So you can be as messy as you want. And you pull the tape off and you're left with this really crisp, sharp line. So that's another thing you can do. So I'm just going to give my brush a wee clean. A black one. Took a little bit of the pink again, and I'm just going to highlight that pink a little bit more, and more just towards that edge, just to tidy that up. Okay, so for your bright colour looks, I want you to really, like when I open that, I can see that straight away, okay? I can see the pink. I want you to imagine that the client is coming in and you've asked them, what are you wearing, where are you going, and you want to try and bring that colour out, okay? They may be wearing a plain black dress the whole way down, and they might have bright pink shoes and a bright pink clutch bag. Pink in the eyes is perfect to bring it in. So don't be so scared of it. Again, when I get my foundation and all finished, this will look so much better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause you and do the second eye look, and then I'll bring you back and let you see what colour it's going to be. Okay, so are you ready? I put the hand up here to cover the colour, and I've just realised the colour of my hand versus the colour of my skin. So we have went for green. Okay, so have a look at this green here. Now, do you see this shimmer colour? That was actually like a white or cream shimmer. but I didn't put on concealer. So because I put that on as cream, but I had green there, it turned itself into like a green shimmer, which is quite nice. So I'm going to show you the colours I used. So first of all, we used this green here. So that green is the top colour and a little bit underneath. Then I moved to that little darker green. Okay, I didn't go near browns, I didn't go near blacks at all. You'll be surprised I did not use blacks. And then I used this, it's like a white, but it's actually like a cream shimmer. But like I say, over the top of green, it's actually really, really nice. So that lets you see I went from pink to brown to black, okay? Then on this side, it went from light green to dark green, and then a little bit of cream. So say for instance you wanted to do blue, so you could go from this bright blue and then you could darken it down with a dark blue. You don't always have to darken it down with brown or black, but you know, you can stick within the colour zones. Again, the purples, you know, you could probably do this purple and then darken it down with these colours here. So it really is personal preference. Now, like I say, if I had, this just looks so awful because my face is still so white. We need a bit of foundation on, and I'm now sitting with two different coloured eyes. And I do have to go out today, so I'm going to have to take all this off and put on a natural makeup. I can't go out like this. So what I want you to do is just practice them bright colours, okay? I want you to put on really, really, really bright colour. Whether you darken it down with the darker of that shade or darker brown or black, I don't mind. As long as when I open the eyes, like when I look at myself there straight on, I can clearly see green and pink, which is what you want to see. Now this one here actually looks a lot brighter than this one. So you can see the way this one's like a shimmer and this one's more of like a highlighting colour. So have a play about, try and do a colour that maybe I haven't done, or if you want to start off with pink you can. Like I say, do you see this pink? I wear this pink all the time whenever I'm in a night out because it really is lovely whenever you've got your whole outfit together. So have a play around with a lot of colours and then send them in to me and let me see what you are playing with. We will move on and try and put on some little glitters and stuff, so we can go that wee step forward, but for now I just want you to get used to putting on a bright colour. In every single one of these classes that I do, everybody always says to me, I'm not putting on pink, I'm not putting on green, I'm not putting on bright orange or bright blue. And you know what, see by the end of the course, that's all they ever use. They love it. If you have the LMD palette, this one here is very, very good. It looks like a pink, but it kind of comes out nearly like a reddy pink, and it's lovely. It's very nice. So have a play about and let me see your pictures. Okay, thanks.